NBA players are finally doing it. They are finally demanding a piece of the revenue that they deserve, or as WNBA players prefer to call it, their fair share. Of course, unlike players in the WNBA, most of which vastly overpaid, if WNBA players were being paid based on their fair share, if they were paid based on their market value, most WNBA players would be receiving an invoice every 2 weeks instead of a paycheck. NBA players are finally demanding to be paid based on the league that they built, they financed. But to my surprise, NBA players are not demanding that the WNBA give them a return on their investment. NBA players are demanding payment from a league that doesn't even launch until next year. Headline at Front Office Sports: NBA players have serious problem with NBA Europe. I understand why NBA players have a problem with NBA Europe. Next October, NBA Europe will start their inaugural season, and the league was built off of money that NBA players generated. Players in NBA Europe, coaches, staff, arenas, referees. Until the league starts generating enough revenue to cover all those expenses, the entire league is being financed off of money that NBA players are generating. So, I get it. I understand why NBA players want their share of revenue. What I don't understand is why this same demand does not apply to the WNBA dump. NBA Europe hasn't even started yet, and NBA players are already demanding a return on their investment. The WNBA has been operating as a charity for the last 30 years, and unless I've missed it, I have not seen a single NBA player demand their piece of the WNBA's revenue. NBA owners have made demands. NBA owners have demanded that the WNBA become profitable. But in 30 years, I have not seen one NBA player demand their share of the WNBA. And much like NBA Europe, they have every right to demand their piece of the WNBA's revenue. Think about it. The WNBA has lost at least $300 million in the last 30 years, and that is a conservative estimate. My guess is it's closer to $500 million in financial losses. Now, who is financing it? Where is that money coming from? That money is coming directly out of the pockets of NBA players and their families. Now, this is just a basic example. These numbers aren't 100% accurate, but there are 450 players in the NBA. Players are given 51% of the league's revenue. 51% of $300 million in losses is $153 million. Divided by 450, the WNBA has cost individual NBA players $340,000. Also, you got to remember, the NBA is donating an additional $200 million every year to the WNBA for their broadcast rights. Uncle Casey, that's not true. The networks are giving that money to the WNBA. Yeah, that's what the media wants you to believe. When Adam Silver was negotiating broadcast rights for the NBA, he essentially forced ESPN, NBC, Amazon. He essentially forced the networks to accept the WNBA. If they refused to take the WNBA, couldn't have the NBA, which means the WNBA was included in the NBA's package. So that $200 million, that is another generous donation every year from their primary subsidizer. 51% of $200 million, $102 million. Divided by 450, the WNBA is taking $226,000 away from individual NBA players and their families, their children, every year. Now, for some, maybe even most NBA players, is that a lot of money? Not really. But it's not about the money, it's about the principle. The vast majority of NBA players, they're not Steph Curry, they're not billionaires like LeBron James. Jose Alvarado, for example, he makes just over $4 million a year. Once you remove taxes, especially New York taxes, agent fees, other expenses, Jose Alvarado probably left with $2 million, maybe a little less. You think $226,000 isn't a lot of money to Jose Alvarado? Why should he be penalized so Asia Wilson can become a millionaire? Why should Jose Alvarado be penalized so random unknowns in the WNBA are lifted out of poverty? If I was an NBA player, I would be pissed. Why is it our responsibility to continue funding this league? Why is it our responsibility to keep this toxic turd afloat? It has been 30 years. No one has found a way to monetize pretend basketball. Supposedly, the WNBA finally became profitable last season. Supposedly. If that's the case, why aren't NBA players demanding their cut? Why aren't NBA players demanding the hundreds of millions they have lost to keep this league from extinction? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later on the main channel.